It all comes down to this, the Masked Singer finale. Yes, let's talk about it. Hey everybody, Dan here, and this is Dan Reviews It, and not so much a review, not even so much a guess video, because the guessing portion is now over. It's just going to be basically a recap video of the season 4 finale of Masked Singer. Before we get to it, please do subscribe below if you haven't quite yet. If you've been enjoying my Masked Singer videos or any of my other videos, please do subscribe and click that little bell as well so you can get notifications for all of my new videos. I've had a couple of questions, by the way, from the comments about will I be doing weekly videos for the Masked Dancer. I guess I probably will. Why not? You know, the Masked Singer won't be on, and a commercial during tonight's show called it I forget the exact wording they used, but it was like a mini event or a special event series or something. But they used the word like small or mini or something, so that tells me the Masked Dancer is probably only going to be, I don't know, maybe 6 episodes or something like that. Not like this where there's 18 contestants or 16 contestants. I think is what we had this season. 17 if you count, you know, the duo as 2 people. But you know, so maybe we'll have a smaller version of the Masked Singer with Masked Dancer. Maybe it will be on for fewer weeks, so why not? Yes, I will be here week by week with you to talk about the clues and figure out who the Masked Dancers are. I still think it's a stupid concept, but the one commercial tonight did say that we would get like one word in the person's real voice, like per episode. So that actually is a little bit intriguing, and obviously I think the clues will give us, you know, the packages hopefully will be a little more revealing than we get sometimes on the Masked Singer. But anyway, please subscribe below, like I said, if you have not yet, and like this video too. That helps the channel as well. And of course, comment, comment, comment. There's not a whole lot to say in the comments this week, except for, you know, yay, I was right, or oh, I missed it, or whatever. But I've certainly loved interacting with all you guys and gals over the comments throughout this season. So keep that going, please. And do check out my other videos. If you like the Masked Singer videos, check out my movie reviews. I do a weekly TV review show for all the new series that air every week on TV or on streaming. So check out all that stuff if you would. But let's get to tonight's show. Crocodile, Mushroom, and the Sun is who was left. That is your final 3. Personally, I was a little sad to see Tori Kelly gone. I was a little sad to see Taylor Dane gone. But I think we had a pretty decent finale. They were calling it the greatest of the finales. But of course, every season, every competition show does that. I remember when I used to watch American Idol, every season was, oh my gosh, we have the best singers we've ever had. Well, you don't. You know, I'm sorry, but it's hard to beat the season with Carrie Underwood. You know, but anyway. So let's get into it. There was no special guest this week on the panel. It was just the main 4, and of course Nick officiating everything. So, you know, pretty bare bones, back to basics for the final. So first up was the Crocodile. He said that so much of his life has been hidden. He said he was dirt poor growing up. So he mowed lawns to make money, and his first album that he saved up to buy was Frontiers by Journey. So he's going to sing us a song from Journey, so he did Open Arms. And then they just kind of interviewed everybody super quick afterwards, like usual. And I don't know if it was a clue necessarily, but they all said something kind of similar, you know, about why they're there or whatever. So Croc said that being there, you know, is great because he knows that he's taking care of his family and his kids, and that's why he sings. And so each of them brought a Christmas gift for the panel, one person on the panel, and his was for Jenny, and it was an angel. It looked to me like kind of a snow globe type thing, but either way, it was like a glass angel or something. And then they moved on. They did not take panel guesses because, I don't know, I guess they figured, well, we'll hear enough from the panel coming up. So it was just all the music first. So we skipped next to the Mushroom. And there was like a Doctor Strange type background thing going on. He said his daughter is his biggest inspiration. Maybe people have shopped to his music in supermarkets but don't know him by name. and then he sang his daughter's favorite song, which is I Wish by Stevie Wonder. And Mushroom said that music is the universal language that connects us all, and I am a connector. Now, Nick said that was a really good clue, Nick Cannon. If you know who this person, he's like, if I'm right, that's a really good clue. They never explained that at all, so I don't know if it was who Nick was thinking or not. I looked up this person's name and like connector or universal language, and it didn't really come up with anything. So his gift was for Nicole. It was some cookie dough ice cream, which again I don't really think we ever got an answer on why that was. But okay. And then finally we had the son, and she said she's been in the industry since she was a kid, and that people might know her from, or might think she is who. I forget how she phrased it, but might think she is who she was when they first discovered her. So they may know her as a little girl with big dreams. They may know her as a pop princess, or they may know her as the grounded woman she is today. And she sang a tribute to her husband to prove that love conquers all. And she did The Story by Brandi Carlile, an amazing song. I thought she did okay. Personally, I think Brandi does it better. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe I'm still bitter that Taylor Dayne wasn't in the final. And then in the interview portion, she just said for the first time in her life, she feels like people are hearing her and feeling her because they don't know who she is. So they're more connecting with her music that way. And her gift was for Robin. It was a whole bunch of mistletoe that he was able to drape all around his body. It was like this big string of mistletoe. So that was that. And then we went right to the voting, and so we just counted them down from third place to first place. So first one out was the Crocodile, and so the initial guesses here, Ken thought it might be Bradley Cooper originally, but he has changed it now to Nick Lachey. Nicole's original guess was Nick Lachey. She changed it to Jordan Knight. She thinks there's a lot of New Kids clues there. And Robin's initial guess was Jordan Knight. This is the only person, by the way, that this happened with tonight, but it was just interesting. Robin changed his guess to Howie Dorough of the Backstreet Boys. Jenny originally thought it was Nick Carter, and she kept it with the same guess, which is, of course, him and Howie Dorough, both Backstreet Boys, but she was going with Nick Carter. That is who I said in week one, and I wavered a little bit. You guys on the comments were throwing me a little bit, so I changed it to Joey Lawrence the second week that Group B sang. But that was my only week that I wavered. Every other time I've been, nope, I'm back on Nick Carter for sure. And that first week, I didn't get any of the clues, really. I just heard it in the voice. Nick Carter, Nick Carter. And over the weeks, some of the clues have become apparent to me either via you guys on the comments or things I read online. And it just all convinced me that this has got to be Nick Carter, and indeed it is Nick Carter. Oh, so Jenny did get one, actually, from her, another one. She was already in the lead, though, going on to this episode for the first impressions, and she got another one with Nick Carter. So they ended up giving her the trophy early. They didn't even need to reveal who the final person was because Jenny was already 2 ahead of everybody else. But some of the clues we didn't talk about here on my show for Nick Carter that they did reveal towards the end here of the broadcast. So the American flag was a nod to his solo album called All American. The cult movie that they mentioned, I did mention Edward Scissorhands, but I was kind of like, well, maybe This Is the End. But yes, they were referencing with the cult movie clue his small role in Edward Scissorhands back in the day. And then there was a Black and Blue hotel that we were all thinking like, okay, maybe it's a Vegas act, which Backstreet Boys did a residency in Vegas, but it was specifically a black and blue colored hotel because that's referencing Backstreet Boys' album Black and Blue. So, all right, the Croc went home with that. And to be honest, from these 3 contestants, I thought it was pretty obvious that the Crocodile was going to be third place. I think it's actually pretty impressive he beat Tori Kelly. In last week's episode, I thought, or 2 weeks ago, Tori Kelly did a great job this season. One of the best vocalists I think they've ever had on the show. and I was surprised she didn't make it to the final. But, you know, look, I'm happy to see Nick Carter there. I'm a Backstreet Boys fan. I always have been since the mid 90s, late 90s. So, all right, there you go. Although still, Tori Kelly and Taylor Dane, I think, should have been in the finals. But all right, so then we revealed who the winner is, so then we could unmask number 2 first. So I guess I'll do the same, because in order to tell you who number 2 is, you have to figure out who number 1 is anyway. So the winner of the whole season was the Sun, which we'll get to then momentarily. But first, let's talk about the mushroom. So the initial guess, first impression clues from Jenny, was Maxwell. Look, the mushroom, I think, is the hardest this whole season, in terms of actual singers, because you could tell this was a professional singer, unlike some of the other people, you know, although, you know, Chloe Kim did a great job for an Olympian, certainly. But some of the people earlier on in the season that went home obviously were not professional singers. But this first week, I mean, I certainly was all over the place with this. I was pretty sure it was Todrick Hall for the longest time, but Jenny guessed Maxwell, and she changed it to Neo. She was thinking maybe the ice cream had something to do with Neapolitan ice cream, even though it said cookie dough on it. So she guessed Neo. Ken thought originally it was Justin Timberlake, but he has changed it to Pharrell, which honestly, I think Pharrell is a great guess based on many of the clues. But, you know, we've been going over since the first week the clues that we were given in the preview, which included that there were only 46 Grammy nominations among all of these people. So it knocks Pharrell out immediately, based on the other people we've had on the show. So Donald Glover was Nicole's original guess, and she has changed it to Aloe Blacc. The first time anybody on the show has talked about this. I talked about it last time, that I was thinking finally we have maybe who this could be, with Aloe Blacc. They did a lot of like soothing clues, like aloe, you know, soothes your body when you're sunburned, and all that kind of stuff. So that was name checked for that. And really, the biggest clue, I think, for the whole season was that this person does not go by the name he was born with in his career. So that ruled out everybody that that I had been thinking, everybody we'd been talking about on my comment section. You know, it ruled out Todrick Hall, it ruled out Billy Porter, ruled out Jordan Fisher, you know. So anyway, Robin did think Billy Porter in the first impression guess, which is, for the first week, that is not a bad guess at all. Really, none of them are. I mean, you know, Justin Timberlake, I think, is too big to do the show. But Maxwell, Donald Glover, Billy Porter, I think those are all good guesses. But he changed it to Aloe Blacc as well, you know, basically biting off of what Nicole was thinking. And sure enough, it is Aloe Blacc, the mushroom, the biggest, I think, question mark of the entire season. Certainly that has made it to the Super Six, and certainly to the final. Aloe Blacc, you know, great job, and really a great voice. I honestly thought he was going to win. I of the three, I'm not disappointed necessarily that the Sun won, but I thought, based on performances throughout the competition, I really thought the mushroom was going to win it. But so some of the clues in his package. So we had, you know, his big song, one of them anyway, I Need a Dollar. And so we've seen different clues in that. Washington, cheddar, buck. There was like a deer buck. So those are all references to his I Need a Dollar song. There was an egg in one of the clues. That's because his real name is Egbert. And there was a kangaroo in one of the clue packages as well, and that's because his wife is Australian. One thing they didn't talk about that I still can't figure out, once I realized it was probably Aloe Blacc, I looked it up and I still couldn't find anything. So if you know, please tell me in the comments. The red brain, the red sort of like jello brain that some people thought might have been an indication for Pharrell, because his band NERD, that was sort of their logo, is you know, red brain. They have not told us what that clue meant, so maybe you can tell me in the comments. I don't know, but anyway, it was Aloe Blacc. So thankfully, with your help, I think we all figured that out within the last week or two. But certainly, I was all over the place once they revealed that clue that it's not his real name. So finally, we had the Sun, and Jenny was thinking Demi Lovato originally, and she changed her guess to Leanne Rimes. Ken thought it was Gwyneth Paltrow. That is a bad guess, even from the first week. And he changed it to Mandy Moore, which is a better guess, I think, for some of the clues we've seen. Nicole thought it was Catherine McPhee originally, but she hears Leanne Rimes in the voice as well, so she changed it to her. And Robin thought it was Natasha Bedingfield. That's an okay guess vocally from the first week, but none of those clues, I think, really match up with Natasha from that first week. And he changed it to Catherine McPhee, who I would love to see perform on this show at some point, because I think a lot of us mainly know her now as an actress. She was in that CBS show Scorpion for a while, but she has an amazing set of pipes. I would love to see Catherine McPhee on this show at some point. So, look, I don't need to go into too much detail about this. It was Leanne Rimes. I've been saying Leanne Rimes since week one. I have never wavered on her like I did with Nick Carter a little bit. And so, yes, it's Leanne Rimes. There are a couple clues we didn't talk about, although I've really stated my case for Leanne Rimes so many times week after week. But there was a jaguar in one of the clue packages. That is for her children's book, Jag, which I didn't know about. And then Spitting Fire we saw in one of the intro songs when they were all singing together. I think, or no, maybe that was one of the after song clues. I forget, but anyway, there was something with Spitting Fire at some point, and that is for her album called Spitfire, which I didn't even realize. It's, I guess, one of her newer albums, maybe, or something. But I think it was like a video clue from The Friend post song. But anyway, it doesn't much matter. But at some point, there was a Spitting Fire clue. So that's it. I mean, I can lay claim to all but two of these people thanks to your comments, but let's dig a little bit more deeper. And how many did I get right from the first week, my first impression guesses? How many did I get right? And I think I'm pretty impressed with myself. I got 8 of the 16 acts correct from that first week. Now, the ones that got voted off the first week, I can't really prove that I got them right, but, you know, look, Wendy Williams, I mean, that was beyond obvious. I thought Busta Rhymes was beyond obvious as well. Mickey Rourke, I was like between Mickey Rourke and Tom Waits because it was this really gruff voice, but I had an inkling towards Mickey Rourke. So, I'm going to count those 3 because, I mean, I think all of us knew Wendy Williams, right? But Leanne Rimes and Taylor Dane, I knew from week 1, did not waver one bit on any of them. And then Busta Rhymes is the other one I had from Group A. Group B, I only knew Nick Carter and Mickey Rourke. Nick Carter I wavered on. Mickey Rourke I was not 100% sure on that first week. So to me, Group B was the hardest. Group C, I had Wendy Williams, of course, but Bob Saget and Paul Anka I had from week 1 as well. I think I'm the most proud of my Paul Anka guess because I didn't see anybody really on the internet or anywhere saying Paul Anka. Nobody on the panel said it. That was sort of my original thought, and I'm certainly the most proud of that one. But I'm going to say from my first impression guesses, I got 8 of the 16 right, which, I mean, that's pretty good. Certainly season 3, that did not happen. So, Masked Singer has been renewed for season 5. So, yes, we will be getting a new edition in the spring. We're not going to have to wait till next fall. They're going to do one in the spring, I assume after The Masked Dancer has wrapped up its mini run. But I can't thank you guys enough. I've had this channel for years, like literally 6 years or so. And I finally hit 500 subscribers in September. And within the first few weeks of my Masked Singer Season 4 videos, I went over 600 subs. And now I have over 650 subscribers. So it took me 6 years almost to get 500. And now within the last few months, I've gotten up to 650. And that is really, a big part because of the Masked Singer video. So I appreciate it so much, and we will see you guys in a couple of weeks for the Masked Dancer that premieres the week between Christmas and New Year's. And then for you Masked Singer fanatics, we'll be back again in the spring with another season. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.